Lawmakers from both parties raised alarms Sunday that Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth may have committed a war crime following a report that he ordered a follow-on attack to kill survivors of a boat strike in September. The Washington Post reported last week that Hegseth authorized a highly unusual strike to kill all survivors of one of the Trump administration's attacks in recent months on boats allegedly carrying drugs in international waters. POLITICO has not independently verified the Post's reporting. Senators Hollen and Tim Kaine said Sunday that, if accurate, such orders would rise to the level of war crimes. If that reporting is true, it's a clear violation of the Department of Defense's own laws of war, as well as international laws about the way you treat people who are in that circumstance. And so this rises to the level of a war crime if it's true.
Pete Hegseth issued an order to, quote, kill everybody on the vessel. Now, after an initial strike on the vessel left 2 people alive and clinging to the burning wreckage of the boat, a second strike on the stricken vessel was taken in order to carry out Hegseth's wishes. Now, the Post's article contains analysis from a former military lawyer named Todd Huntley, who says there's a possibility that such a kill order, quote, amounts to murder. That's because there is, quote, no legitimate war between the U.S. and the people on.
Kaine said in an interview with CBS Nancy Cordes on Face the Nation. Senator Mark Kelly also said in a Sunday morning interview with CNN's State of the Union that the order, if true, is clearly not lawful. And Senator Ed Markey responded to the article by writing on social media Saturday evening, Pete Hegseth is a war criminal and should be fired immediately. The Pentagon declined to comment beyond a Friday social media post in which Hegseth branded the Post's article as fabricated, inflammatory, and derogatory reporting, insisting, "Our current operations in the Caribbean are lawful under both U.S. and international law." Hegseth did not dispute that he gave the orders detailed in the article. While skeptical to concede that the Washington Post's reporting may be accurate, Republicans also raised concern that Hegseth's orders could have been illegal if they played out as reported. Bipartisan leadership of the Armed Services Committees in both chambers vowed to probe the matter, with Senators Roger Wicker and Jack Reed promising vigorous oversight to determine the facts related to these circumstances on Friday. Rep. Mike Turner told Cordes on Sunday that if that occurred, that would be very serious, and I agree that would be an illegal act. And Representative Don Bacon said on ABC's This Week that if it was as if the article said, that is a violation of the law of war. I don't think he would be foolish enough to make this decision to say, kill everybody, kill the survivors, because that's a clear violation of the law of war. Bacon, who sits on the House Armed Services Committee, told ABC's Jonathan Karl. So I'm very suspicious that he would have done something like that, because it would go against common sense. The oversight comes as Trump has sparred with congressional Democrats over a video reminding service members of their obligation to defy illegal military orders. Trump called for the 6 lawmakers featured in that video to face arrest and trial for what he called seditious behavior, punishable by death, sparking outrage from Democrats. Hegseth issued his own remarks later that day, referring to the Post report as fake news delivering more fabricated, inflammatory, and derogatory reporting to discredit our incredible warriors fighting to protect the homeland.
Kill all the boat's occupants if they were no longer able to fight would in essence be in order to show no quarter, which would be a war crime, end quote. That's therefore quoting Huntley once again. Now, the U.S. argues that these people on these boats are drug runners bringing narcotics from Venezuela to the United States, whilst providing no evidence to back up those claims. Venezuela's President Maduro says that these strikes are part of a pressure campaign to remove him from power, with the U.S. interested in the country's substantial oil assets. Trump and Maduro reportedly also spoke on the phone last week, but the contents of that call and even the existence of that call weren't made public.
The White House has since insisted that Trump did not call for the lawmakers to be executed, despite Trump reposting a since-deleted social media post that advocated for hanging the Democrats. U.S. forces have downed at least 22 vessels since September, killing a minimum of 83 people. President Donald Trump and Hegseth have maintained that operations in the Caribbean are a response to narco traffickers, who they claim aspire to bring illegal drugs into the United States. The actions have sparked tensions as critics say the escalation in the region is part of a broader military framework to potentially remove embattled Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Trump and Maduro spoke last week via phone about a potential in-person meeting, according to multiple new reports.